we have a pretty good idea of who were some of the first people in it. I know of 2 people confidently, 100% who were in it. They were tweeting out clues of where to find, I think, bigger caches of them, perhaps. It got really intense because there were so many groups of people doing it, and a lot of us were all friends, and a lot of us got into a lot of arguments about it, and everyone split into little pockets of groups, and it was chaos. It was absolute chaos.
Okay, so something that I recently figured out. So, this dude right here, religion major.
Really?
This dude right here, religion major. Now, don't know what the correlation is, but Elizabeth mentioned that they're either religious majors. She was also a religion major.
Yeah.
So, and that she has a feeling that she knows probably who they are.
And she had the friend that accidentally, casually drew up in a conversation that he was Son of Light.
Yes.
And then someone else approached her, begging her to keep the secret.
Why? I don't know why someone would do that.
Because I guess, like, if you had a friend that was, like, an absolute, like,
Yeah.
moron, and he revealed himself to be a member, and you feel responsible for, like, I gotta clean up that moron's mess. Because moron's not gonna do a good enough job.
Yeah.
Not that he's a moron.
And then over here it says Aaron Carr is a sophomore religious and classics doubles major. This guy, senior religion major. Sus.
A little sus, yeah.
Actually, you know what? This might explain why Elizabeth said originally they thought that their headquarters was in the religion department, because this guy said he saw them working in the UM office, University Ministry office, Sunday night, and they walked in.
That's very true.
That is very true.
So if they were working out of the religion department, then they would have probably been majors, and he saw them because
they were there.
They were there.
And they were there for a meeting because they were all in a hooded figure wearing a mask, tossed a egg into the room and walked away. He saw more walking out of Reed Chapel, about 5 of them.
I heard about it during Connections Week. People were talking about climbing Reed Chapel to see the Sons of Light plaque. And I was like, oh, is this like a Samford bucket list thing, like to climb Reed Chapel? And they're like, oh yeah, and there's like a plaque up there that like has a secret code or something like that. And I was like, oh, well, I have to do that. So it was like during Connections weekend that I had climbed Reed for the first time. And when I got to the top, there was not a plaque. I had still like been curious on like why did everybody say there was a plaque up there and then there wasn't? Like, so I decided to look at the building around Reed, which is, Chapman and Burns. I got roof access, and there was a plaque. And this was in like the right side. I think that's Chapman's side. I don't know. I don't remember. But the plaque had a Roman numeral 9 on it. And I was like, oh, did I find the last one? Was I supposed to find the first one? And the hidden code on it said Reed, like Reed Chapel. And I was like, okay, so clearly the one from Reed Chapel is either missing or stolen, or I just couldn't find it. I was clueless. Climbed Reed again, still didn't see it. So it was clearly not there anymore. That made me very intrigued on, how many more. I figured that Sons of Light had 9. So this was in 2019, and they had said coming soon earlier, so we knew like it was coming, and they started with explaining, what was going to happen, how there was coins around campus, and to find them at the end of, like, it was a whole week. So at the end of the week, it said to go to Lady Justice to weigh the coins. I had my alerts on my phone, and I would refresh every time a new clue would come, and I would just read it, figure out where it was, and sprint there. If not after hours, like I could drive there because you could park anywhere. Halfway through the week, I had found a bag without a clue. And so this made me realize that, they put all 4 clues for the day out in the morning. So I would go around before the day started in the AM and find some of the coins without clues. They didn't ever specifically say like how many people you could have on a team. I had talked to someone where 2017 they said you could only have 4 people. So I just assumed I had 4 people with me, like 3 with me, so it made 4. The last day, we are all there at midnight, and they tell us to go instead of it was about to rain, so I guess they didn't do it outside. So they took us inside, where we met them, and it was like really weird. And there was 9 of them, and they said no talking or they'll leave. So we were all like dead silent, and secretly some of us taking pictures on our phone or like videos. And they didn't talk at all. They would just have signs. And so the one like leader, I guess, would walk around and point to people, and they would come up and read a scroll that said like what they wanted us to do. So, we had collected all of our team coins and put them in jars and stuff. And one of the things specifically said, before we got there, it said everybody should come, whether you got 1 bag or 20, because each coin has its own weight, which we thought was really interesting. And the Sons of Light live on honor and integrity, so we figured, they've been watching how we've played the game the whole time. And so I honestly thought my team was a shoo-in, like, because we were super friendly to everybody, and like we would write like found on the post so that nobody else would look for like hours on one that was already found. Then they pull out a scroll that says, if you don't feel confident, team up with other teams or something. And so we were really confused, because we're like, I don't know, like that was like a really confusing plot twist. The other team that I won't mention her name was like really kind of like mean about things, and like, I don't know, very, very much she needed to win, clearly, and she would do whatever it takes. She roped in about like 9 people to join her team. And, my team, we were still thinking, well, this is an integrity thing, like this is an honor thing. So was another team was saying that too. So there was about 3 teams total at that point from like, you know, the 20 people that were in the room, because all of them had joined that one team. And we're like, this is it. This is where they say like each coin has its own weight, you know? And so of course their team had the most coins because there was 9 of them. My team of 4 had the second most, and then the other team had the third most. And that's when they held up the jar that had the most coins, which was the team of 9. And that was the end. And it was a little disappointing, if I'm going to be honest, because they said each one carried its own weight, honor and integrity. Did you play with honesty? All this stuff, like we've been watching you this whole time. And then to have the girl that was like being like nasty to all of the other teams was like, what just happened? So that was really disappointing. And then they took all the jars, so we couldn't even keep a coin, which was also a bummer. Luckily, my friend Nicole got to do a silicone mold of one of the coins for art before we had given them all away. So she made little fake ones just for memory's sake, and we still had the burlap sacks that had the red seal on it. So that was pretty cool. I'm really proud of myself for the way that I played and the way that my friends played, and you know, win or loss, it was an experience to last a lifetime. Like, it was really cool.
So my brother goes here. He's a second-year senior, Thomas Cleveland, and I learned it from him about junior year high school. When I came here to Samford is when I started seeing the stuff they started doing. I was really interested. So I really heard from like other people, like older students. I think that's the easiest way to find it. They also do have the Instagram, but they don't post very often on it. One time they came to the UC, it was last semester. It was one of the last few nights before we left, and they came through and there were 6 of them. They walked across campus. They didn't say hello to anyone. They didn't talk. They were walking like in formation, like 3 and 3.
Oh my god. No. Thank you. It's mine. It's the Sons of Light. Follow them. You didn't hear me that. Dirty over here.
And they gave a few coins out to some of my friends, and they actually have a Sons of Light coin. I wish I could bring it, but I don't have it. And then they got in the car, and I actually took pictures of the car and got the license plate number, and we ran it through the company, but it was a rental. So we got no information from it. It was very interesting. And they drove away. Yep.
They also did the rubber ducky thing.
What was your reaction to the rubber ducky thing? Because that was in Ben Brown, right? When was that?
Yeah, that was so fun. That was when they said coming soon. I think that was in December 2018. And it was really cute. Like, it was just a little simple thing, but it let people know that it's like, hey, we're coming type of thing, you know?
The Sons of Light is actually based on the Dead Sea Scrolls. If you look into it, it's like it has to do with like 9, it's not values, I forgot what it is, honestly don't exactly know, but it's based on the Dead Sea Scrolls and their rules in which they have to live by, like honor and love and all this. And this letter, it's like, it says, a letter from my brother. It's from Brother Apollo, and 5 candles have I lit by night, 5 candles have I lost by day. So a lot of this stuff comes from the Dead Sea Scrolls, and that's just how they run their group.
It's been around for like, I would say a good while. I don't know the exact start date, but I mean, like it originally, from what I've heard from people talking about it and having more personal connections than I had with them, they said it was very much like a community thing, and it's been around for a good while, at least as long as like Andy Westmoreland's been there.
If you go on I believe it's the library website and you go into the archives, you can look up back till it's the early 2000s and maybe the 90s when they started appearing on the Samford newspaper, the Crimson, because the Crimson's been around for a long time. You know, it's very old. And you can see where they've had events, and actually there was an instance in I think it was either 2007 or 2014. It was one of those 2 dates where one of the Sons of Light was on the steps of the library here and his mask fell off and he was a student. So there's information you can find from the past that can help you to the future. Obviously, we don't exactly know who they are.
I may know someone.
You don't have to drop names.
I'm not gonna drop names.
I would recommend not doing that.
I definitely think they are students, but I think how it works is they hand down the next gavel, next Sons of Light to the next generation. So every few years they'll graduate and they'll hand it down to the next few students. And I've had a few possibilities of who I think, most of them being seniors, just on things I've observed. For example, I'm not going to tell you who because I'm going to protect that person, but in the video that's on the Sons of Light Instagram, there's a little duck on the bottom, I think, right corner, and that has to do with one of the people I know. It's one of his biggest things, and they're little clues that they purposely will leave, and that's one of the ones that I found, but I never confronted the person about it.
If you look hard enough, you can find almost anything.
There was a rumor spread last semester that there is a female in the Sons of Light, and don't know if that's true. Maybe it is, but they call her the Daughter of Light. And one of the 9 letters was about a female, and it was very interesting. So that may have confirmed it. We don't know.
What about them intrigues you?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. It's just the mysterious part. It's not being able to be a part of the group. Not in such a shallow way, but you want to know who they are and why they're doing this. Obviously, they've done good things in the past. My brother maybe was freshman or sophomore year. They raised money for a girl who was going through something. They've done good things. They have usually during Valentine's, they have the event where they give the females roses on campus. This was a part of the Valentine's one, but they didn't give out roses this year. Maybe because of COVID, maybe for another reason. But they just run by their own rules and no one else. And that's what I think students, they want to find out why.
There's something about the secrecy of it, and people watch reality TV all the time. They watch Survivor or The Amazing Race, and these reality shows that are competitions, even Wipeout or whatever from way back when. There's something about the competition that makes it so investing, and I'm not normally a really competitive person, but with something like that where it's just a mystery, there was nothing like participating. It was so good and so fun to figure things out and feel I'm a genius now because I know all this, it was good. It was fun.
What do you think is the future of the Sons of Light? I mean, we've got Dr. Westmoreland's retiring. You've got there's a possibility, you said, of them doing something later this spring. What are your theories on what could be happening in the future?
So it definitely depends on the next president because, with the plaques gone and everything, they might not put anything new up, or maybe they will.
Last semester, they were really quiet. They didn't do much. Maybe that was because of COVID-19, maybe because they just didn't want to. But I think they will. I think they might do a bigger event on campus and reappear, because they did last semester, like I said. They came through the UC, left in the car. But I just need to be more ready this next time, and I've told other students what to do. Get your phone out. I have flashlights in my backpack. I have a notebook. I'm ready all the time.
I definitely think there will be one last scavenger hunt to look for. I would be so shocked if they didn't do one.
Filming? Okay.
Yeah.
You told me to check Instagram?
Yep, Instagram. They posted a TV video.
And I believe there are faculty or administration that work with them.
Oh shit, it's all 9 of them.
If there was 4 students and 4 staff members in the Sons of Light, there would be one more.
A man who has guided our institution through a myriad of challenges, embodies the Samford spirit, and has done all his works with excellence, honoring the Lord.
Which would be the president.
We thank Dr. Westmoreland for his service and wish him well in the next season of life.
Obviously, their Instagram follows President Westmoreland and only him, and Westmoreland has acknowledged that they are a group on campus before in one of his interviews past couple of years, but nothing past that.
Guys, that was really nice.
What? So the one question I was going to ask you was, were you silent or were you silenced